Okay, so I'm trying to get organized here. I did a 34-hour reset. I got a brand new mattress. Oh, it's so nice. I'll talk about that a little bit later. Got my winter coat finally. I got hoodies. I gotta get all this organized. I'm not really leaving it like that, but I gotta get it organized. All kinds of stuff. And Jenna absolutely jam-packed my fridge. She boiled eggs for salads and everything. She set me up. Sorry, the reefer's just cranking back there. And I was able to pick up a lot of my YouTube tools. So I'm going to be able to start doing some different things with YouTube now that I've wanted to do. But it's been an interesting 34. I didn't accomplish a lot of things I wanted to accomplish, but I did accomplish one of the most important things that I wanted to accomplish. A couple important things, but one of the most important. So we'll talk about that here in just a second. All right, I'm sweaty. Just been out hooking up the trailer, getting everything ready to go. I'm at a drop yard right now. Something amazing happened. This was my trailer that I brought up here from Laredo, and I got it washed out. I had it fueled. I brought it here to the drop yard because I needed to go home for 34. For a number of reasons. One, I haven't been home for like 6 weeks, and so I just needed to see my family. Two, I needed all my winter gear. I needed stuff. The last time that I left home with the ability to take stuff with me was when I went to orientation for my rehire. And so I needed all of my stuff for winter. And then the third reason is that my hours were just getting too slim to be able to manage. Like, I've been running off recaps for a month now, and it was just getting to the point where it was dictating how I could run it. I don't like that. I like running off recaps, but just getting a little sketch. So I was able to accomplish a lot of things at once. I will say that Laredo was hell. Like, I have this problem right now where I'm both deacclimated to cold and hot. Because for the past month I've been in like the 80s during the day and the 50s at night. So it's like almost perfection on both ends of the spectrum. And there were a couple nights that got below that when it was windy, and I was not prepared for that. I've been deacclimated by being in Texas for so long, and then being up there for a month. Now I'm deacclimated to this heat down here, and it was 107 degrees in Laredo. And I'm just kind of caught between this, caught between a rock and a hard spot. There goes the reefer shut off. I'm pre-cooling it down to 25 degrees. Anyway, so I dropped this trailer off here. Now, it was attached to me when I dropped it off, and I was only doing it 34. So my thinking was, well, there's other empties here, and there's no reason why I shouldn't have this trailer attached to me when I come back out. There's like 5 or 6 other empties here, and I hid this one way down on the end, where if a prime driver came in to try and find the trailer, or find an empty trailer, my hope was they wouldn't see mine, A, and B, it was attached to my truck, so there's no reason they would take that trailer. Well, it turns out someone took the trailer. I think that they took the trailer, it was a trainer that took the trailer only to go do some backing practice, because it's still clean, still has fuel, and it still was on the settings, the reefer was still on the settings that I left it at. So I was not happy that it got taken off my truck, but I was extremely happy that it was left in the condition that I left it in. So my guess is that they brought a student in here, and the other empties down the row are really close to each other, like miserable to get between. And I had mine hidden way down on the end with plenty of room on all sides. So they're probably driving down the road. We're like, hey, grab that one. It's super easy. It's right out in the open. So when I saw that it had been taken off my truck, I was like, crap, I'm gonna have to go to the drop yard, get a dirty trailer with no fuel in it, and go deal with all that before I go pick up a load. Turns out, didn't work out that way. It doesn't always happen like that, but when it does, you gotta appreciate it. So on this 34, the most important thing to me was seeing my son. And I'm gonna be honest with you, I shed some tears this morning, and I'm not like I don't cry easy, you know, but I shed some tears. Not like bawling, but you know, if you have kids, you know that you notice them growing for sure if you're with them every day. But you really notice it if you're gone for a month and a half at a time, especially when they're young like mine. He's roughly a year and a half old. Different human. Same guy, just different. His whole head structure, his face structure, he's walking around. He came up and this morning came up and just grabbed a hold of my leg and just wanted to hug me and be hugged. And I lost it for a moment, you know. It's hard. It is hard. Being out here on the road with little ones, little tiny ones, probably any age, but little tiny ones at home, it's hard, man. It really, really got me today. But, you know, seeing family obviously was the number one objective. And while it was a short time home, I logged a lot of on duty with my son. So, of course, it's never enough, but man, I just really got to spend some good time with him, you know, and that's a good thing. So that was the first thing. And the second thing is just to like re-gear. You know, I had no coat, I had no hoodies, I didn't have my boots, I didn't have a beanie, I didn't have nothing for the winter. And this time out, I'm likely to start experiencing some cold weather. So I really needed to gear up for that. I accomplished that. I needed to resupply the truck with just all kinds of stuff. I accomplished that. I needed a new mattress, and that was we ordered one, I think on Amazon. I can't remember the brand. If someone wants, just comment and I'll tell you, but man, it's amazing. Now, it's not a team mattress. By that I mean you would not want to sleep on this mattress going down the road in a Freightliner. And Jen and I had that experience before, where we thought, oh, let's go get a hybrid. You know, it's got memory foam, but also springs in it. And it was like, I think maybe a month, and we were like, we can't do this, because going down the road, you're just gonna bounce on that thing, you know. But if it's parked for 10 hours, this mattress is amazing. And I think we got it for like 150 bucks. It is the best mattress that I've ever had in a truck parked. For sleep-wise, it's so comfortable. I think it's a 10-inch, maybe an 8-inch. It's a lot thicker than the one that was in here. The one was in here that has been in here since the truck began. So it's had quite a few drivers on it. It's had students on it. So, you know, 230,000 miles with a lot of different people on that mattress. And it was just memory foam, because there were times where this truck was a team truck. So it was like a canoe, you know, it had no support in the middle, and it had just been worn down, you know. And that's what I like about the hybrid, that it's got kind of the coil and the memory foam, because it has a lot more support. But again, you can't, in a Peterbilt it might work, but in a Freightliner, that support becomes a trampoline. So it only works on a solo truck. But if you need recommendations for an amazing comfortable hybrid mattress for $150 that comes in a box. Man, ask down in the comments, and I'm sure Jenna will let you know, because this mattress is like a win, huge win. I would love to have a purple mattress, but I ain't gonna pay, I don't even know how much, probably $1,000, $1,500. I have a purple seat cushion on this seat that's amazing, but there's no way I'm gonna pay what they want for that. So anyway, that's where I've been the last few days. I got all my beard stuff from when I was out on the truck last year, because it's winter. I'm going to be working on growing a beard, but you got to have all your gear. You got to have a brush. You got to have softeners, because the thing that sucks is my beard starts growing really fast when it gets like down, when it gets a good 1.5 inches, 2 inches down. But the time from now to that point is just hell on earth, because it just gets scraggly and pointed out and wiry. So you got to have all the tools to be able to manage that. Otherwise it just, I don't like the whole going out in all directions. So was able to get the supplies there for that. And like I said, got all my YouTube tools. I have a drone that I used to fly at the very beginning of my YouTube channel. So I'm getting that all charged up, and I'm going to send the drone up in some certain areas. I had a lot of drone footage that I posted on YouTube back when we were teaming and running coast to coast. And up there in Wyoming, Montana, some of the most amazing drone footage that I've ever taken up there. Now, I primarily only run in the Midwest now. In fact, I haven't been west of Denver in a truck in 1.5 to 2 years. Pretty much only run Midwest. And that's not because I say no to loads going out there. They just don't bother proposing them to me. I don't have to say no. I don't know how that came to be, but that was the case for my truck before I took a break, and I came back and my profile is still intact, and they know to not even bother trying to send me out west, because I have not gotten a single proposed load that, in fact, I've never seen the new Salt Lake terminal. Now, I say new. A lot of you who've been driving for Prime for a year or two, you're like, what do you mean new? There's a new terminal in Salt Lake City? New to me, because I've never seen it. So I'm from the generation of drivers who remembers when you had to go shower with the mechanics at Salt Lake City. For those of you who remember, before that terminal was built, the showers were pretty damn rough, because you showered where the mechanics shower, and that meant there's oil all over the walls and grease all over the walls, and just a shitty curtain that's half ripped off. So I thought, okay, if they'd send me something out there while I'm out this time, maybe I'll run out there just to hang out at the new terminal for a day. Hang out at the Salt Lake terminal. But I have not even been proposing anything out there, and I'm not going to complain. Running the West Coast is just too high maintenance on the truck and too expensive. It is just never, to me, equaled, unless you're teaming. It is never proven to make more financial sense than running the Midwest, ever. And look, I've crunched the numbers in 15 different ways. And a lot of people argue with this with me. I'm like, look, I'm just telling you, running the Midwest is more profitable. It keeps your sanity intact. It's not as hard on your truck. Does it mean you have to deal with more customers? Yes, because you're doing shorter runs. But man, I'm not down to be climbing those mountains heavy every day, spending what you're spending on fuel, dealing with what you're dealing with the weather and all that. Man, it's not for me. I did it, got plenty of experience with it, used to run coast to coast for the first year of driving a truck. Pretty much ran coast to coast. And so I just, so the drone footage, if I do get the drone out here over the next month or two, especially since it's fall, it's probably going to be like PA, maybe some of the, I've gotten up into New York a few times. With the fall and all the colors turning, I might end up with some really epic drone footage, but I do plan on doing that. I've got the DJI, their version of the GoPro, which I've had for a while. I've got to get the software updated and all that. I want to start using that. So I'm hoping to be able to do some new stuff with YouTube. Getting back to some of the old school way of doing things, if time permits, because I do intend to just get out there and run hard. Speaking of which, I got to get over to a customer and pick up a load. The reefer just shut off, so it's obviously pre-cooled. Headed up to the northern side of Texas, and then hopefully escaping back into the Midwest, getting out of this damn heat. It's too hot. Like, I don't want to feel this kind of heat when we're approaching October. Now, I love to come back here in January and February. I did videos about this 2 years ago. In the middle of the night, sitting in Laredo in the first week of February, and it was like 79 degrees. So I'm totally down to do trips to Laredo or Florida in January and February. But right now, nah, man. Nah, it's too hot. Too hot. Alright guys, that's the update. So if you're wondering where I've been, now you know. Be safe, make good decisions, drive, as always, drive to thrive. Talk to y'all soon.